When a team is completely out of sync, there is a very specific, undeniable feeling that washes over a basketball arena. It can be perceived in the body language of the players, heard in the murmurs of the crowd, and seen in the sluggish Garak Makani's bola, Salama Tiga Minute Pertama Pertandingan Tim Nacional America Serikat Melawan Italia. That precise feeling of offensive stagnation hung over the court like a thick fog. We saw a collection. Dari Pemain Basketball Wanita Terbake di Dunia, Terlihat Sama Sekali Biasa, Minkoba Minimukan Ritmi Lawan. And Pertahanan International Yang Seharusnya Tela Marika Rusak di Papan Score Tertulis Lima Dalam 3 Minute Untuck. An offensive juggernaut, it was a sluggish, alarming start that forced everyone watching to ask the exact same question. Tanya, Salama Barapa Lama Tim America Serikat Akan Melanjekan Experimen Bodo Dan Tidak Masuk Akal Ini Dengan Menggunakan. Daftar Pemain Awal, the basketball establishment has been attempting to sell a story to the American public. We have been trying to persuade them that success is dictated by seniority, that traditional, slow-paced half-court basketball is the safest way to navigate international waters, and Caitlin Clark must wait her turn behind the established veterans. Naaman, Sarita Tersput Runta Sekara Niana Melawan Italia Baris Awal Conventional was tested, but it failed. The offense did not have any kinetic energy at all. Catherine Gray. Sirang Floor General Yang Lure Biasa Dan Turkanal, Minjalola System Yang Turlala Lama. Songdat Muda Diperdixi Dan Tidak Memaliki Kajutan Yang Diperlukan Untuk Mengdenkirken Pertahanan Italia. Shell. The game was slipping into a messy, grinding, low-scoring affair, and then a moment of absolute. The sideline of Team USA demonstrated clarity. Kara Lawson, Pelita Kepala, Tidak Dapat Menulasakan Tugas Sekolahnya. At March Madness, leading assistant coach Nate Tibbetts to run the show. Tibbetts, looking at a stagnant offense. Dan Papan score Yang Tidak Bergerak Melakukan Apa Yang Akan Dilakukan Ola Otak Basketball Yang Lojas Dan Analytic. He left the political hierarchy and ego management, Dalam 3 Minute Pertama Babak Pertama. He looked down the bench and called the number 22. The next thing that happened was more than just a shift in pace. It was a complete, violent, hostile takeover of a basketball game when Caitlin Clark stepped onto the hardwood. Salama Inam Satinga Minute Barakutnya di Babak Pertama, Tim Nacional America Serikat Memaliki Lima Point. Dengan Clark Minjalankan Point Sekara Resmi, Tim Itu Memimpin Dengan score 23 point. Saya Injin Minggulanji Ini Karina Fakta Bawa Angka Sekara Keseluruhan. Itu run absurd Harus Diselsakan Sepenuhnya. Without her, they scored 5 points in 3 minutes and 23 points in 6.5 minutes. Bersama dia, Selain Meningkatkan, Pelanggaran Menggalami Transformasi Yang Signifikan Dan Luar Biasa. Saat Clark Mengambil Ali Permainan Basketball, Seluruh Geometry Court Berkembang Hingga Kesempurnaan. Point. Pertahanan Italia, Yang Telah Menghabiskan 3 Minute Pertama Dengan Naiman Menjimas Cat. And playing the passing lanes, they were abruptly forced into a state of complete panic. They had to increase their defensive. Tertakan Kajarak Tiga Pula Kaki, Ketakutan Dengan Ruang Tembakan Tak Terbatas Clark. Marika Juga Memperluas Yang Kejua Sekara Absolu. Karina Tekanan Tersput, Serangan Tim America Serikat Menjadi Mezan Yang Tidak Dapat Dihendakan Dan Terkoordinasi.
Let's get this going. Let me just, misdirection, backdoor, take it to the rack, layup. Folks, look at the score, actually. 5-5. We only scored 5 points in the first 3 minutes of this game. Caitlin Clark comes.
The total brilliance of this particular possession. This is precisely what we mean when we say a player fundamentally change the operational system of a crime. Simuamana Italia Ada di Sini, Dan Clark Memaliki Bola. Defense is attached to her every move. They are anticipating the deep three, the pick and roll, but Clark uses a brilliant trick to mislead. She manipulates the defense with her eyes, forming a small window of vulnerability along the baseline. The backdoor cut is done to perfection. Clark delivers a pass that completely bypasses the defensive rotation, leading to an uncomplicated high person layup D-rim. Itu bukan hanya melempar bola ke pemain yang terbuka, itu adalah manipulasi yang aktif the opponent into surrendering the easiest shot in basketball. She is playing chess while the defense is stuck playing checkers. Naman, seberapa menakjubkan penemukan awal quarter, kisah nyata dari pertandingan basket ini, bukti tak terbantahkan Caitlin. Fakta bahwa Clark sungguh membutuhkan roster ini terungkap saat dia dipaksa kembali ke bench. Coaching staff returned to their usual rotations in the second and third quarters. Mereka menempatkan katalis generasi mereka di tempat tighter, mungkin untuk meredamnya, tetapi hasilnya di lantai sungguh tactical disaster. Perbuatan segera kembali ke keadaan yang lamban, tidak termotivasi, dan rusak yang telah kita lihat sebelumnya. Dalam 3 minute awal, without Clark's gravitational pull stretching the floor, the Italian defense collapsed. The passing lanes disappeared. The simple transition buckets disappeared, and they were replaced by grumbling Kitat bursting dengan jumper isolasi di bawah jam shooting, untuk memahami sepenuhnya perbedaan yang signifikan. Anda harus melihat angka asli in the middle quarters of this basketball game, without Caitlin Clark on the bench. Floor, Team USA only managed to outscore Italy by 7 points in total. It was a dogfight. It was a fight for everyone. Basket. Itu adalah jenis basketball yang membuat suatu tim rentan terhadap kejutan besar di tingkat internasional. Mereka tampak sepenuhnya berbahaya, bergantung pada keberanian individu daripada sistem pertahanan yang konsisten dan lancar. Mereka meminta seseorang untuk menyelamatkan mereka dari stagnasi mereka sendiri, kemudian datang babak keempat. Finally, the coaching staff unleashes the lineup that the basketball world has been waiting for. Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, and Kelsey Plum were all put on the floor at the same time.
But, go behind the back here. In between the legs. Let me stop. Hold up. Turn around. Fade away. In your face. Eat that.
If you ever have any reservations about her ability to subdue the powerful, international defenders alone, I would like you to put this sequence on a loop yang berulang, kami sering mendengar para kritikus mengatakan bahwa dia hanya bergantung pada the three-point shot, that she lacks the exceptional, tight ball handling skills of a typical point guard. Watch this to completely refute that absurd notion. Pada batas, dia terselesai. Dia pergi ke belakang hingga seluruhnya. Freeze the defender's momentum. She moves smoothly into a dribble between the legs to her rhythm, stop on an absolute dime, and rise for a turnaround fadeaway jumper just in the defensor wajah, mekanismenya sempurna. The footwork is impeccable, penerbitan terjadi dengan cepat. It is a shot that destroys the spirit of a defender completely, because you can play a textbook, perfect defense. And it simply doesn't matter. She's a multi-dimensional scoring threat at its peak. Of her abilities, in the fourth quarter, it wasn't just about shooting one shot, it was about watching the change of team chemistry and ending the toxic internet tales of locker room jealousy and Karatakan Dalaman, Tidak Hendihantinya Diskusi Tentang Penolakan Angel Reese dan Caitlin Clark untuk coexisting tela kami dengda. Kami telah menyaksikan klip yang tersebar dari frame ke frame untuk membuktikan agenda sabotage, namun rekaman game keempat quarter of this particular matchup breaks down that story into a million pieces.
She says nice. Yep, free up some space. Step back. Signature Caitlin Clark 3. With the step back going left. Angel Reese actually excited about it, if you can believe it. If you can believe it. Look at all that space. Pull up. Bang! To end the quarter. Now Angel Reese bricks this.
Lihat keajaiban kolaborasi tanpa ego dalam klip ini. Angel Reese, pemain tepat internet. Claim hates playing with Clark, sets an incredibly hard, physical, perfect screen. She completely eliminates the defensor perimeter. Dia melakukan pekerjaan yang kotor, membuat ruang, dan Caitlin Clark memanfaatkannya. space with terrifying precision. She uses her trademark step-back move, fading to her left, creating an ocean of distance, and fires an absolute missile from the range of Logo Ring. The ball snaps through the net, and Angel Reese is clearly thrilled. Mingarmati Timbakan, this is what championship basketball is about, using individual Upaya untuk menghasilkan kekuatan kolektif yang tidak dapat dihentikan, Reese memberikan pengawasan fisik, Dan Clark memberikan execution yang mematikan dan panjang. Saat kedua pemain berada di sudut baris, bekerja dalam pick and roll, or the dribble handoff, no defensive plan can stop them, selain itu, jika keseimbangan tinggi. The transition game we saw wasn't enough to terrify the international basketball community. Menjadi kilas sudah dalam kisep